play first. This hand needs a mana creature, but it's got Jeskai Ascendancy in it. So we're a 1-2 combo deck. First combo piece you need is Jeskai, or mana creature. Second one you need is Ascendancy. I guess Fatestitcher kind of counts as a mana creature. But ideally I'd like to find like a Bird, a Noble, or a Sylvan Caryatid. It's one of them dirty interactive decks. Burn maybe. Burn's actually pretty hard for us because Eidolon is a beating. Could also be Mardu Pyromancer, I guess. Yeah, burn. Okay. I'm gonna try... This is running kind of slow. Over 2 gigs of RAM. Yet, believe it or not, they didn't fix the memory leaks in this version of Magic Online. Sylvan Caryatid is the best possible draw in our deck. If they don't have Eidolon next turn, we should be able to kill them, which would be awesome to steal game 1 on the play. So, here's hoping for 2 1-mana spells here. Here's hoping for 2 1-mana spells. If they just have 2 1-mana spells, we get to kill them. If they have Eidolon, I'm probably just going to concede. Yes! Ha-ha! Victory! And now that I've said victory, I'm sure we're about to brick and die, but I would just like the record to reflect that we are very likely to win from this position. All right, can I get some buckle ups in chat? If you've never seen this deck combo before, it's a lot of fun. We're gonna fetch our basic island out here. So we go this, red, this, cast Jeskai Ascendancy. The odds are currently in our favor. I do need some more 1-mana spells here, but I do get a couple of draws. I need another 1-mana spell. Need another 1-mana spell. No, I need a 1-mana spell in these 2 draws. I need a 1-mana or a free spell, sorry. So I get a draw from this. Yeah, we could brick here. I need a 1-mana spell here. Tilt. What a fucking tilt. What a fucking tilt, chat. How many 1-mana spells did we have in our deck? We had 2 1-mana spells out of our deck. And we have how many? We have how many? 20, I guess there's 6 of these. So there were 17 hits. We had 2 looks at 17 hits. Good news. We're hopefully not dead on board. And then hopefully they don't have an Eidolon this turn. I feel like if they have Eidolon, they would have played it last turn. Yeah, Eidolon is the worry here. Nagging Thoughts has a converted mana cost of 2, chat. Again, the worry isn't dying here. The worry is they get to play Eidolon and then I can't win through Eidolon. That's the worry, chap. Okay. Again, the kills in this deck are never deterministic, which is until like they're very rarely deterministic until you're very late into it, which is one of the reasons why this deck isn't super popular. But this deck is, at this point, we're a pretty strong favorite to win the game. So now our 2 mana spells are free because every spell we cast makes us 2 mana because it untaps 2 creatures. I would like to draw a card. I would like to discard. I would like to discard this Nagging Thoughts. Let's make blue. Let's untap this. Let's make blue. And then Nagging Thoughts is going to get put on the stack, which will untap our dorks. And then eventually we win the game by making our creatures huge. So you see our creatures keep getting larger every time with Jeskai Ascendancy triggered. So we're just gonna like loot through our deck here, casting a bunch of spells, making our creatures larger. We can also win outside of combat with this deck by Glittering Wishing for Flesh Blood. I mean, most combo decks are a pain to click through on Magic Online. Yeah, look, it is. And so a lot of these decks play, they play, what's it called in them? They play, I'm searching for the word. They play that draw 3 and then discard 3 at your end of turn, but that card's really bad when you're not comboing, so I'm not a huge fan of it. This deck is, at least on Magic Online, Magic Online automatically keeps track of our mana that we have floating, whereas in paper, you'd have to track all of these things manually yourself. Another Ascendancy. Obviously, like I said, they're like never deterministically dead, but you can basically, our opponent is going to die here. They're going to lose the game. I think Wizard's Retort. I don't know what that card does. So we can tap their blocker here. And now we just got to cast a few more spells for this thing to be lethal. I guess I could just cast Glittering Wish and just, like, do that. So, like, now at this point, I'm even going to start missing untapped triggers because, like, we're going to have more than enough at this point that they're going to die. I don't even need to loot, really. So, bottom that. Unless I start, like, drawing a bunch of bricks here, I'm just going to decline looting and just keep powering my things up so we can attack for lethal. No, it seems kind of clunky. Like, people always talk about why don't we have Counterspell in Modern, and like, I don't feel like having Counterspell really fixes any of the problems the control decks in the format have, so much less a Counterspell that's not actually Counterspell. So we're just almost dead here. Cast this. No. And then I just gotta cast one more spell here. And now my Fatestitcher will be a 19/19. Grab Serum Visions. Give him the Stitcher! Give him the Stitcher! So, I'm gonna try a sideboard plan that I've never tried with this deck before. Do we think my opponent has Eidolon? They probably have Eidolon in their deck, right? So, I think what I want to do here is I want to cut the Glittering Wish package and just board in Leyline and a bunch of cheap interaction in the 4th Jeskai Ascendancy. So I think this is the plan I want to do. And what else do I want to trim here? I guess the problem with this plan is I need a mana creature that's not Sylvan Caryatid to win the game. But usually I can find my way into Fatestitcher, right? Probably want to trim some Noxious Revivals. Trim a couple of Ops because they're my worst cantrip. Yeah, that's why I was thinking the opponent might not have Eidolon. They might be Budget Burn. Keldon Marauders kind of feels to me like Budget Burn. I should have articulated that. I'm gonna bring in both. Nah, I need Decay. Let's leave Decay in. Let's just assume they have Eidolon. Mystic Enforcer is for the decks that have black base removal. No, I think Fiery Justice is a little bit too slow. I think Path and Decay are fine. Last time I played this at my LGS, my opponent got so angry that he was banned from the store. We need abundant growth if we're boarding an Abrupt Decay, because we don't actually have that many black sources. Is it even that expensive after the reprint? They just reprinted it, right? This hand looks great. So, again, for those of you that weren't following, I think I'm trying out this board plan for the first time in order to board in a bunch of cards. So, in my experience playing this deck against Burn, because I played a ton of this deck for a little while earlier this year because I really like it. The Glittering Wishes are just too slow in the matchup, especially when your opponent gets Eidolon going. So basically, I'm boarding the Wishes out and just boarding in a bunch of interaction and the 4th Jeskai Ascendancy. Hey, Project Swamp. Howdy, howdy. Opponent can beat Leyline with just beats, but Leyline plus Caryatid is a pretty deadly combo. Pretty good combination together. And they can't Searing Blaze us here because Searing Blaze targets the player. Hey, Yellow Hat. Thank you very much for those, Nassif. I appreciate that. Welcome to folks coming over from Nassif's channel. We are currently playing some Jeskai Ascendancy here. There's an Abrupt Decay to cover an Eidolon if they draw that. One of our board cards right there. Destructive Revelry. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, right? Like, the opponent saw Jeskai Ascendancy, so like they're bringing in their Gem and Hate. That's Marauders. Down to 13. This isn't attacking this turn. I wonder if it's greedy to Abrupt Decay this Keldon Marauders. JAC. Ooh. Huh. Do I just cast that? It lets them attack me for 5, but I can just cast that next turn. Probably supposed to wait to cast that next turn, right? I probably want to like block this, Abrupt Decay this. Yeah, I think that's the case. I'm gonna wait till next turn because I want to Abrupt Decay the Keldon Marauders as a gain 3 here. Is Sylvan Awakening just a random card that like turns a land into a creature? Because we've had that effect before. I don't know what Sylvan Awakening does. The new cards are on the Gatherer, right? Until your next turn, your lands become 2/2. Now that's really slow. 3 mana is a lot. 3 mana is a lot of mana. We're gonna take 1 here from this trigger. I'm probably just gonna cycle the Cerulean Wisps. Oh, this says target player or planeswalker. Look at that new rules text on there, fancy. Maybe I was supposed to cycle that on my turn so I could have played the Sleight of Hand out. Probably. Yeah, that's probably what should have happened. I've like missed playing the Sleight of Hand because I waited on that Cerulean Wisps. Man, we are flooding. Oh, it's the wrong color. I think I'm going to use this bird as a gain 3 at this point. So I want to hold Sylvan Caryatid back to block Goblin Guide, and I'm going to use this to chump Keldon Marauders. And the good news is there aren't that many more lands left in our deck. Yep. There's an Ascendancy on top of my deck. I probably won't jump here. Well, I mean, at least we cleared that one for free, I guess. Don't want to Tarkus command me. Wow, that's brutal. Okay, alright, I deserve that. I deserve that. All right, so you're saying there's a chance. I think I'm gonna put this into play tapped. I think 2 lands to loot through is probably plenty. Having lands left in my hand is valuable because it does mean that I get to have more cards to loot through. So hopefully we draw a spell here. I think I have to run back the block with the Sylvan Caryatid here, right? And I guess that's probably not true. I can just take this hit. No, I'm gonna run back the block. I think it's pretty unlikely that they have a second. I've only seen 11 cards. Sweet, there's Serum Visions on top. Yeah, no Gutstone Glory. Alright, 2 shots at a spell. That's a heck of a spell. We do need to find a Fatestitcher here. Because remember, I boarded out the Glittering Wishes, which means that I can't win with the Sylvan Caryatid. Maybe I should have boarded in Flesh Blood, actually. Maybe that's what I was supposed to have done. I should have boarded in Flesh Blood. If I would have boarded in Flesh Blood, I could draw into that too, and then win with Sylvan Caryatid. I think maybe I made a mistake in the way I boarded. Alright, Serum Visions is a good hit. Float another mana here because the sun taps my guy. Make white, cast this. I'm really not looking for... So, one of the things you're doing when you're comboing with this deck is you always want to be trying to identify, like, what your deck is potentially bottlenecking on mid-combo. And here I'm looking for cards. So basically, I'm looking for ways to generate card advantage. And another Jeskai Ascendancy is not going to help me generate card advantage at this point. There's my Fatestitcher. There's another Fatestitcher. Wow, these are the Stone Perfects. All right. Top. That is exactly what I wanted for Christmas. These were the exact things I wanted. So opponent should be dead here. So I'm gonna discard this, and I'm actually gonna hold this Nagging Thoughts. I'm not gonna loot here. Because I want this other. I want this to discard while I have the other Fatestitcher in play. So untap this, untap this. Is this sweet? I'm glad this board plan worked out. It feels like, because like this is just a matchup where like we just like don't have enough time to dirtle, right? So like this board plan feels really powerful. I think the other guy went to make a sandwich. I hope so. All right, sure. One Fatestitcher is more than enough to kill them at this point. They don't have another card. If they had another card in their hand, they had another way to kill this Fatestitcher, I actually wouldn't be able to kill them here the way I've sideboarded. So I do think I did miss sideboard a touch. I should have, what's it called? I should have boarded in the copy of Fleshblood if I was boarding it out. It really sucks on Magic Online that there's no always yes for this Fatestitcher. I'm actually going to say no on these loots because my total deck size could actually end up mattering here, and I only want to loot if I have something in my hand that I actively want to discard at this point, so basically creatures or lands. I actually think it's easier. This deck is just hard to play in general. I actually think it's easier to play this deck on Magic Online than in paper, because in paper, you have to manually keep track of how large all of your creatures are. And on Magic Online, you don't have to do that. Beep, 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 if you are not one for vigorously working through combos, this is not the deck for you, and that's okay. Not every deck has to be for every person. They're out of cards, chat. Stop talking about cards they could have. They don't have any. I did my homework. There are no cards they could have because there are 0 cards in their hand. Whenever my opponents sit here while they're deterministically dead and I'm like 0% to timeout, I can always like feel the mound of salt that's like building on their side of the keyboard. Yeah, links are always welcome. TCG related links are always welcome. Rawr. Hit you for 17. Got him. All right, time for Magic Online reboot. While Magic Online is rebooting, because all it does is leak memory, I'd like to say good morning, afternoon, and good night to everybody wherever you're on the world. Thank you very much for the salty bits. Hope everyone's having a great time. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time TCG player and content producer here. If you're enjoying what you see, please consider subscribing to my channel. Subscriptions are the reason I'm able to do what I do as often as I do it. I stream here full-time. You can also support my content by supporting my sponsors, mtgotraders.com. We'd love to buy and sell Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. Using code Jeff12, you can save 12% on custom playmats, mousepads, binders, and bags with them. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn your Magic cards into other Magic cards or cash directly with other players. There's no haggling. They just take a 1% fee right off the top. And finally, this stream is made possible by viewers like Anaronix, Justin, Nivik, and you. At the very least, please make sure you hit that follow button if you're new and enjoying what you see. Following the stream doesn't cost you anything, and it lets you know when I go live and with what. I always try and put the names of whatever decks we're playing on a given day in the stream title, so that way you can know if it's something you want to catch live. And if you can't catch me live, be sure to check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. All of my streams get archived there, and I break them up by deck and by matchup so you can watch just the stuff that you care about. Hi, wife.
Look, Chad, I cooked.
Look, chat, I cooked. I also have this very delicious Jimmy John's veggie sandwich. And I gotta show the actual sandwich here. Look at doesn't that look delicious?
No, I cooked it.
This stream is in no way sponsored or endorsed by Jimmy John's, but
Jimmy John's, if you're out there, it could be.
You did the wink in the wrong spot.
It's because I haven't slept in 3 days.
Okay, look, you missed the show.
Look, I haven't slept in 3 days.
I love you anyways because
so I screwed up just a little bit.
I love you because you cooked dinner.
I did. Didn't I do a really nice job? Chat, I'm so tired.
Well, your children will be asleep soon, and then you can sleep soon.
I'm so tired. I sleep right here.
Well, this is the Stone Perfect. So remember, this card turns into Jeskai Ascendancy, so we just need a mana creature. So if they can't kill this Noble Hierarch, we have our 1/2 combo pieces here.
Look, honey, they sent cupcakes.
Cupcake bits. Thank you for the cupcake bits, chat.
Cupcake. Can I just sleep right here?
Someone has to watch the children, honey.
I'm so tired.
They
Declan
can't-
already fell asleep on the couch.
Declan fell asleep. Well, go poke him or something. Dredge. Our Dredge matchup probably isn't terrible.
Should I do this? Declan, wake up!
Yeah, probably. Probably.
Would you like one of these?
I would like a napkin, thank you. Thank you. Does this mean we have clearance for a 72-hour stream? Stop it. So, we would be well set up to race what our opponent has going on. But, unfortunately, they have a Conflagrate in their discard pile. Hopefully, they misassess how close they are to dead, and they just, like, use their mana to do something else next turn. But if they're smart, they're going to Conflagrate this Noble Hierarch. If they don't Conflag the Noble Hierarch, we can probably kill them next turn. But, if they're smart, they're just going to go ahead and use this and kill my dork. Please cast Life from the Loam. Please cast Life from the Loam. All right. Alrighty. Let's go. They could have Lightning Axe, that's true. So I want to float a mana here before before this resolves. So it gets to untap this. Noxious Revival's a great draw too here. So let's put my sandwich off to the side while we click through this. Let's cast the Sleight of Hand, loot, draw, discard this Noxious Revival. Actually, so in response to this madness trigger, no, I have the Noxious Revival. Yeah, never mind. Just go ahead and cast this. Yeah, the hair looks much better when it's short, that's for sure. I don't need 2 Noxious Revival at this point. We're looking for more 1-mana spells, and I'm looking for, I'm looking for a, what's it called, guy? I'm looking for the, Fatestitcher. Looking for a Fatestitcher. We have a lot of looks here. Huh. It would have been Glittering Wish at this point. So I mentioned earlier we wanted to look for like what bottlenecks we have. At this point, our bottleneck is kind of mana. I could net some. I guess I could net mana with these. Maybe that's not the truth. Maybe I just want to burn the Noxious Revival here. Yeah, I probably just want to burn the Noxious Revival here. Actually, just put this Glittering Wish on top of my deck. Yeah, that's probably the case. So we pay health for this, which nets me a mana because it's a free spell that untaps my thing. So then Glittering Wish goes on top of my deck, and now Manamorphose is a 2-mana spell that nets me 3 mana because it untaps this. So draw. I don't want to loot here because I want all of these cards. I know there's a Glittering Wish on top of my deck, so I'll do green-white here. And then I can make blue with this. Then I'm going to go ahead and cast this other Manamorphose here. It's been a little while since I've played this deck. I have plenty of mana at this point. Nah, mana's kind of my bottleneck, so I'm just going to make sure I keep having enough mana. Green, white. Sylvan Caryatid is a card I don't need, so now let's cast this Glittering Wish. This Glittering Wish untaps my thing, and now I'm kind of running short on cards here, but Glittering Wish gets to turn into Scarscale Ritual on my board, which lets me draw 2 cards. I think I need to Manamorphose here first, though, because I do need to get up some mana here. And again, we're just looking to loot through lands and stuff. Nagging Thoughts is another card I can kind of discard for value. So blue, cast Scarscale Ritual, put a counter on here. This lets me untap, lets me loot. Discard this Nagging Thoughts. So Nagging Thoughts, cast with Madness. In response to this untap trigger, do this. We're going to pick up a bunch of cards here. So I haven't found a Fatestitcher yet. All right, that puts Fatestitcher right in the bin. All right, so Fatestitcher really lets us start netting stuff here. I think our opponent's having fun yet, chat? I think our opponent's having fun. I'm having fun. Do we even sideboard here? Do we even sideboard? I feel like I'm just supposed to click submit. Am I just supposed to click submit? We're just like both racing and we're the faster combo deck. Sometimes they have discard, but sometimes they just don't. What's going on, Maddie? You can swing by if you want. Ley lines don't really stop you from dying. They would only be good if they have discard. All right. If you don't understand how the combo works in this deck, check out this article here. I wrote about the deck and talked about some of the card choices there. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and run it back, just like submit. I don't actually know where the capture card is, Matthew. Christy might. This hand doesn't do anything. It doesn't have mana creatures. It doesn't have Jeskai Ascendancy. This hand doesn't have mana creatures in it, but it has Jeskai Ascendancy. And one of the things about this deck is if you have Ascendancy, you're going to get to loot into mana creatures eventually, so. They have a Dark Blast, so our game probably just got a lot harder. We don't have any graveyard hate, so we're just trying to race. I like the mana base in this deck, Irishman. I think with the 2 copies of Abundant Growth, Gemstone Mines are fine. I'm gonna fetch Steam Vents tapped here. This way, if I bottom cards I don't want, I don't have to redraw them. Bottom this, top Sleight. Is chat invited to the Hoagland house party? No, we're not coming down to Atlanta, JW. It's just a little bit too far. Tough to get out to that many things, especially ones that are that far away. So next turn we'll go Slight. No, that's not even true. I'm just gonna go Shock Jeskai Ascendancy. Yeah, I'm just gonna go Shock Jeskai Ascendancy. And then all of our cards become much better with Jeskai Ascendancy out because they start looting in addition to that. So I think that's the plan. Just go to 14 and poop this into play. Blue, red, white. See if they have Abrupt Decay or Ray of Revelation or something here. Nature's Claim. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I think for the Louisville Open, I'm between Grishelbrand and Blue Red Prison. Lean on this. We're pretty dead, right? Block here, take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, go to 6, die to a... You don't have a conflag out, okay. None of you exist in person, you're all Twitch bots, right? Interesting. If we don't die this turn, and they don't have a Nature's Claim, we could hit Ascendancy and then kill them next turn. Actually, untapped land could possibly let us kill them, right? Because we could Glittering Wish into Ascendancy and then untap with Noxious Revival. Do I have enough health for that? I think I do. So untapped land or Ascendancy, please. Oh my god. I could have Revivaled Ascendancy. Yep, you're right. Alrighty, so how do I fix this? So I drew the Cerulean Wisps so we can get a do-over here. It feels like they're auto-passing. Need some 1-mana spells. That's a 1-mana spell. Bottom, top. Alright, looking for a Fatestitcher, a Noxious Revival, or another Cerulean Wisps. That's a Fatestitcher. So we need another 1-mana spell here now. We've got 3 looks at a 1-mana spell. If we get a 1-mana spell in these 3 looks, we're a pretty big favorite to win the game. That should probably do it. I'm gonna bottom a land here. Oh, I haven't played a land yet this turn, right? Huh, I haven't played a land yet this turn. But I'm gonna get to put Fatestitcher into play. Although I guess if they kill... They could have Lightning Axe, right? Do you think they have Lightning? They're also auto-passing. And they're auto-passing. I'm not gonna play around a Lightning Axe. I don't even need Noxious Revival at this point. So do this, sweet. That's a good clean race. I like how we finished at 4 and Nature's Claim gave us 4 health this game. Nice sideboard card, opponent. You think our opponent's having fun? I hope they're having fun. Oop, oop. All right, we're 2-0-4-0. This deck's a lot of fun. It's very powerful when it works too. It's really consistent too, because it's just a bunch of cantrips. I do friendly leagues because the competition between friendly and competitive leagues is essentially the same, and friendly leagues have a flatter prize structure. So I would like to gamble less. Mystic Enforcer is there exclusively for like Death Shadow discard decks. It probably doesn't need to be there anymore. So normally I'd snap this hand off, but the fact that our only land is the Gemstone Mine makes me really hesitant to play it. I guess we're on the draw. Yeah, I'm gonna try it. This is sketchy. Oh no. Are you finding a deck with counter spells? Oh, burn. Playing burn with Scalding Tarns. What a monster. I like the opponent. Playing burn with Scalding Tarns sends a really important message. Registering burn and playing Scalding Tarn as your fetch land tells your opponent that I could be playing a more expensive modern deck, but I really fucking like playing burn. Should have muted my microphone before I crumpled that up, sorry. You didn't get paid, but also did not have to ever worry about money. How often would I actually stream? Yeah, probably a similar amount to what I stream now. Probably 15 to 20 hours a week. A little bit less if I didn't have to worry about money. I think I just want to pass here. I'm just gonna pass. Really want to land. Ding. This is probably just gonna be an Eidolon and then we die. Yep. Yeah, we can't beat that card. It's really hard to beat that card, especially game one. So we're gonna try the same board plan we did earlier, only we're gonna also bring in a Flesh Blood, because I think we're supposed to have done that. I'm gonna cut these Noxious Revivals. I'm gonna cut some Ops. Yeah, I agree, Justin. I think Ari had some good points. Like, I think he's correct in that the mana base of the blue-red prison deck as constructed is pretty terrible, but I think his conclusions of like changing how the deck functions at its core level aren't great. I like the core of what the deck's doing. I just want it to be able to cast its spells more consistently. I'm gonna cut here. I mentioned my Noble Hierarch, I think. That's interesting. Yeah, maybe that's fine. And then this one Glittering Wish can get Wear Tear to kill Eidolon too. Yeah, I think I like that. Leave one Glittering Wish in. Yeah, I like that suggestion. I can pull up the blue-red, or actually I tweeted and posted in the subs Discord the configuration of the prison deck that I'm interested in trying moving forward, and my mana base is pretty significantly different. I cut most of the colorless lands and just added a bunch of islands because I like casting my spells. Is this keepable? It doesn't have a mana dork, but it has an ascendancy. I think it's just not quick enough. I think no Leyline, no mana dork is a mulligan in this matchup. And sweet. One land Gemstone Mine cantrip feels a little bit bad, but we have Leyline to buy some time. Looking for lands and mana creatures. I don't think Fatestitcher counts here. I think I just want like Sylvan Caryatids and stuff like that. Bottoming that also gives us a higher chance to just hit a land here on the Sleight of Hand. I need to hit a land pretty quickly because this land only gives me 3 uses. Deal. Yeah, but I don't think Chalice is actually very good in Modern. Another one of the changes I made to the deck was I cut 2 copies of Chalice, because I think Chalice in the blue-red prison deck is very good at locking your opponent out of having outs for killing your artifacts, but I don't actually think it's good enough in Modern that you want to play 4 of them. I think in Modern, Chalice is the type of card that you is really good in some matchups, but in general you can usually wait to find it. It's not like it's in Legacy where you can like you have it and it automatically wins the game a lot of the time. Sylvan Caryatid is on top of my deck. All right, I'm gonna draw that. I was gonna fetch if this wasn't a land, but Sylvan Caryatid's worth drawing here. That's really annoying. Yeah, like I feel like Chalice is a card that I want access to, but it's not a card that I need 4 of. Yeah, I agree. There aren't the critical mass of 1 mana spells in this format that there are in Legacy. Land, please. Another Caryatid. Okay, that's interesting. All right, we're dead. I think we could have maybe beat this first Eidolon, but the second's gonna lock it up. Just gonna go ahead and move to the next one here. Yeah, modern prices are kind of silly. MTG finance in general is kind of obnoxious. Man, and it's really awkward and frustrating that people just like want to play the game and they have to like jump through all these silly finance hoops to just be able to afford to play at a base level. How often do we 5-0 league with silly donation decks? Not often. In all honesty, like, most people don't 5-0 leagues, right? Like, leagues make more... TCGs make more losers than winners, right? This hand's pretty good. It's got a mana creature and some cantrips and a Jeskai Ascendancy. Anyone who says they want Price of Progress in Modern, I feel like, hasn't played with or against the card. Seems like a pretty obnoxious statement to want that card. What's the dumbest deck we've 5-0'd with? I don't know. I really don't keep track, and we play so much Magic that it's all kind of a blur. Dragon Skull Summit. Probably Chandra Tribal, that's fair. Play some bad 2-drop that's not a removal spell. So I can play this Jeskai Ascendancy. If we get to play this on 2, it's going to be real good. Yes, that qualifies. Red-Black Infect. Okay. That's pretty decent. Pretty decent. I don't know what Dirty Kitties is. And now, even if they kill this Noble Hierarch, we can ditch this Fatestitcher and hopefully combo them. You can only play it against Tron, right? Legacy as a format would be like completely drastically different without Wasteland. You're gonna like play another dirtily 2-mana creature. I can untap and kill you. That would be great. Puncture Bolt. Yep. All right, so start by doing this. Loot. Do I try and kill them this turn? Should I try and kill them this turn? I might get choked on mana if I try and kill them this turn. I guess I get to use this Serum Visions first here. See what happens. So I could put this into play and then get comboing here. I think I like that. Yeah, let's do it. Got a lot of spells here. Get to shock this in. So I get to go ahead and play Serum Visions here, and then on my loot I get to play Nagging Thoughts. We do have to get Fatestitcher all the way to 20 here, so that is definitely something. Hey, South Park 520. Thank you very much for that Twitch Prime support. I do appreciate it. There's a lot of excellent people streaming on Twitch right now, so I appreciate you choosing to put your Amazon money towards my channel this month. Thank you for that. Manamorphose is definitely a card I'm looking for here at some point. Now we need a Noxious Revival, another Fatestitcher. Oh, these are, and we found a Noxious Revival. All right, well now they are definitely dead. So we'll go top here. Now they are dead. I don't remember, Justin. Unfortunately, it's been a. We talk a lot in Discord. It's good, clean turn 3 kill. And at this point, we no longer have any bottleneck. We've got plenty of cards. We've got plenty of mana because these guys are basically every cast spell we cast makes 2 mana. So 1 mana spells net us mana at this point. Stoneforge Mystic is too strong. Kill you on the 3rd turn? How do you feel about that, opponent? What if I killed you on the 3rd turn instead? I can't play Stoneforge Mystic. This is fine. But Stoneforge Mystic is too strong. Dominaria cards are legal on Magic Online right now. You just don't have access to them. No, remember, Noxious Revival is card disadvantage. So while it does get you back something you're looking for, it doesn't actually put you up cards. So you'll run out of cards. Whoop whoop. Yeah, Skirt Prospector reprint should be legal in Modern right now. That was how it worked last time, at least. Deep, 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 deep. And I'm gonna start declining these loots. Just, there's a mono red infinite combo with Skirt Prospector now, right? Yeah, definitely Hack Red Zombie. I agree with that assessment. Like knowing which of your cards do fulfill which part of your combo is really important. So this is lethal, right? This is a good clean 20 here. All right. 4 minutes later, attack you for lethal. Does Portillo's have New England locations, or is it a regional thing? They're all over the country now. They know they have some West Coast locations, but I'm not sure in general where all they're at. Hey, Inksky, with the 4-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Thank you very much for re-upping that. I do appreciate that. So for choosing to put your Amazon Fund money towards my channel again this month. I feel like I'm just supposed to click submit here again. I'm not really sure what my opponent's doing, but I feel like just like staying on our combo plan is reasonable. They could be a discard deck, but I really don't want to board in Leylines until I know they're on a discard deck. It seems decent. It's got a hexproof mana creature. It's got some cantrips. Sign me up. Probably go Gemstone Mine, put Abundant Growth in my Gemstone Mine on one. All right, I ate my sandwich. Let's stand up, burn some of those calories. Enjoy the ride, chat. Oh. Rebel, Alliance, or the Empire. That's Star Wars, right? I don't really do space genres. I never really got into Star Wars or Star Trek. I'm more fantasy magic based stuff. No, Magic's just a really expensive hobby. On Magic Online, or Standard, not in Modern, for a Standard deck you could probably get a variety of reasonable decks for under $200, but Modern's fairly expensive, especially the interactive decks. Can you please stop shilling for a restaurant I can't go to? Sorry, Divik. For whatever reason, the unplayable mid-range decks are all really expensive in Modern. It's strange. It's so weird. So, Ascendancy kills them, probably. Unless they have some kind of black-red way to blow it up. I haven't read a lot of... I'm not a big reader anymore. I used to read a lot of books growing up, but now that I'm old and have children, I don't really have that much spare time. So with this Noxious Revival, we could potentially kill them this turn, actually. There's a chance we brick off and die, but I think we're going to try and kill them this turn. Put Cerulean Wisps on top of my deck, and the reason I'm putting Cerulean Wisps on top of my deck is Cerulean Wisp nets us mana. Aces of Death with the 4-month tier 1 resubscription. Thank you very much and welcome back. I do appreciate that. Thank you for the continued support. Thump 27 with the brand new sub. Thank you. Our guy's got hexproof. Ain't nobody bolting Mrs. Caryatid. She is great. She is a big part of why this deck is so good. She is a big part of why this deck is so good. I'm gonna loot here. I don't really need this other Ascendancy. Looking for a Fatestitcher at this point. Again, our bottleneck is mana currently, so we're looking to overcome that bottleneck. And this is not a moto-bugged blue. This is a... We have Cerulean Wisp it, so it should be blue. You wanna drop me a message about deck lists in private? I try not to look at deck lists midstream because if I looked at deck lists midstream, most of the stream would just be me looking at deck lists. Why don't people play this in paper more? Because it's really kind of tedious to play and keep track of. And its like inherent power level is just kind of average for Modern. Like, it's doing powerful things, but like Modern's a format full of decks that do powerful things. Bottom. We've drawn a lot of bricks here. Wow, actually, we're down to... Wow, we need some more 1-mana spells here really badly. We're gonna potentially brick off. Wow, all right, we've got 3 looks at a 1-mana spell here. Noxious Revival. Noxious Revival is actually really good. And again, like, this is where you need to start measuring, like, what you're looking for. So right now I need more mana, and Noxious Revival nets me mana because it's a card that doesn't cost me any mana, and it generates a Jeskai Ascendancy trigger, and I have plenty of cards that I'm willing to discard in my hand. Backdoor Negation could be okay if you're looking to compete with counterspell based decks. I actually think you'd rather have Silence. So Silence is a card I've played in this deck on multiple different occasions before. I think that card's very powerful in this deck. All right, at this point, we're seeing enough cards that hopefully we won't brick and die, but there is still a chance here. Glittering Wish. I do need another 1-mana spell here. All right, Opt is a 1-mana spell. God bless. And this is going to put Cerulean Wisps on top of my deck, which guarantees I have another 1-mana spell here. And the Cerulean Wisps allows us to cast this Glittering Wish because Cerulean Wisp nets us mana. I wonder what our opponent kept this game. They just keep a handful of removal, assuming they'd be able to kill my creatures. Exile all cards from target player's graveyard. Sure. And this is one of the reasons I really love this deck, is that people don't know how to play against it, so they do things like board in Graveyard Hate and then keep mediocre hands, assuming Graveyard Hate is going to help them win the game. And Graveyard Hate is not, like, Graveyard Hate stops this deck from getting Fatestitcher into play, but it doesn't actually do anything useful other than that. Sylvan Caryatid can't attack, but we have a card in our sideboard that we get to wish for that allows us to deal damage equal to its power to our opponent. So you don't need to attack to win the game with this deck. You can win through Ensnaring Bridge. Yeah, their timing on the Rakdos Charm there was a little suspect. Definitely a little suspect. And Manamorphose here, again, like I said, we're kind of bottlenecked on mana since we're comboing with just one creature and 1 Ascendancy. So Manamorphose is a card that nets us mana while comboing because it costs 2, but it outputs 2 and it untaps our creature here. And now that we've got this Fatestitcher and we're generating up to 3 mana, we should be home clear on the combo front with 2 Glittering Wishes in hand. So I'm not quite sure why my opponent timed their thing the way they did, but like when I discarded the Fatestitcher there would have been a much more ideal time for them to have exiled my discard pile. I think I'd still be winning this game even without the Fatestitcher here, but it definitely might be a little bit harder for me to win if they would have taken my Fatestitcher away. They just got bored holding it up and wanted to F6, right? I wonder if they have a bolt here. Maybe they have a bolt and want to kill this. But like I said, I don't actually need this Fatestitcher to win the game at this point, most likely. All right, and grab Scarscale Ritual. Untap this. So now every spell we cast makes 2 mana effectively because it untaps both our creatures. But yeah, they also could have Rakdos Charm in response to either of their revivals. That is correct as well. So their sequencing was really quite strange. And one of the things you have to get used to while playing this deck is that a lot of the time while you're comboing, it feels like you're flooding out, but in reality, we're not flooding out, right? I'm just like drawing most of the cards in my deck, so I'm going to draw a lot of cards when I draw effectively every card in my deck. So we're going to see all of our lands, even though we don't play a lot of them, because we're basically seeing the entirety of our deck. So when we finish winning this game, we'll be 3-1 in this league, which is exciting. Discard that, make some mana here. And at this point, we're definitely at the, I'm just not worried about mana, so I'm not even gonna bother using this Fatestitcher. It's like the world's our oyster. And to show you that we can win the game without attacking here, I'm actually gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna win the game with our Glittering Wish here. On track for a 3-2, right? You can't. Glittering Wish only gets multicolored cards. Glittering Wish only gets multicolored cards, so you can't actually Glittering Wish for Fling. If you're looking for kind of a neat combo deck to play, if you're someone who likes storm type decks, you're looking for something that's off the beaten path a little bit, that players won't quite really know how to interact with, I definitely think this is a very reasonable deck for that type of gameplay. All right, so we have a good clean 2020 Sylvan Caryatid here. We're gonna go ahead and wish for Flesh Blood. Give him the flesh. Opponent concedes. No, opponent, I was gonna Flesh Blood you. You are gonna die. All right, well, we lost one match to Burn 2-0, but other than that, we haven't lost a game. We actually beat Burn in one of the other matches, so that was sweet. Sometimes you just get really sweet games like that where you just get to run people out. Guttural Response only targets blue, counters blue instants. This is going to be the last match in this league, but it is not the last match of the stream. So after we finish this league up, we're going to change pace a little bit here and try a green-white Archangel Avacyn mid-range deck that 5-0'd a competitive league last week, which seems really sweet. Concede the match. This is modern. Just can never win because he can't go better than 3-2. Oh, that's actually not my latest list, Justin. Let me just post my latest list for you. I think that one might be missing. That I think I added a talisman too. Let me take a picture really quick. It lasts longer. This is. I think we're gonna play this on Saturday. Assuming I can get Damping Spheres, we're gonna play this on Saturday. So let me. People are asking for this. I'll post it in the subs Discord real quick. People can grab it out of the screen as well. All right. Pop that in the modern channel real quick here. All right, what does this hand do? This hand has a Mana Dork and a Jeskai Ascendancy in it, so God bless. We're on the play too. Sweet. Breeding Pool, Birds of Paradise here. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I'm supposed to go Temple Garden, Birds of Paradise. Yeah, I think I fetched the wrong land here. I should have gone Temple Garden, Birds of Paradise, because if my opponent kills my bird, I can't cast Jeskai Ascendancy on 3. Yeah, sweet. All right. This matchup should be pretty good for us, especially with us being on the play with a fast start, because we just goldfish faster than they do on average, I think, so... Hopefully get your buckle ups ready here, chat. Speaking of Guttural Response, what's your opinion on the card? I don't really like it because wishing for it is slow. I think it's okay, Hat Crab Zombie. Like, I've won games because of it. I think you're right that if I'm not playing copies of Silence, it might just be bad. I really like it to supplement Silence against the blue decks, but without Silence in the deck alongside it, I think you're right that it just might not be good enough. Yes, you can kill on turn 2. So your turn 2 kill in this deck is turn 1 Mana Dork, turn 2 Jeskai Ascendancy, and then you use Noxious Revival in order to untap your mana creature and start playing 1 mana spells to combo them. So your turn 2 kills in this deck involve Noxious Revival. Grab a Scarscale Ritual here. We're doing okay on mana for now, since we got to start this turn with full mana in play, so I'm just going to go ahead and gas up on cards here to try and guarantee that we don't break off this turn. Cerulean Wisps. Both of these generate mana. I guess this... I really don't need that, right? Another Jeskai Ascendancy. Alright, so... do this... cast this Manamorphose. This Manamorphose is going to net us a bunch of mana. I think that's about a deck under 200. What good modern decks are under 200? Discard this. Details on how to get into the subs Discord is here. So this is going to make blue mana make red mana. And now we'll go ahead and cast the second Jeskai Ascendancy. So now every spell we cast is going to loot twice, and it's going to make our creature 2 larger. So this is my favorite deck because lots of people know from my Kiki Core days I'm a sucker for Birds of Paradise. This deck gets to kill people with Birds of Paradise, which is just good fun, good fun. Noxious Revival is not a card I'm looking for at this point, because at this point my bottleneck is not mana, which is what Noxious Revival gets me. My bottleneck is wanting more cards. So I think I'm actually going bottom on both of these. I'm looking for a copy of the Madness spell in this deck, whose name I'm blanking on at this current point in time, but the Madness spell is the card I'm looting for at this point. I don't need a third Jeskai Ascendancy. Although, honestly, we can probably just chain through with what we have here. Nagging Thoughts. Perfect. That's the one I want. That's the droid I'm looking for. So, Nagging Thoughts allows us to generate card advantage because when we loot it away, which is card neutral, we actually get to cast it with Madness, right? Our bird... My opponent said in chat that they watch the stream every day while they're at work. Well, if you rewatch this match while you work tomorrow, I didn't respond to your message because this deck's very click intensive and I don't want to time out, but thank you for watching. I appreciate that. And at this point, I'm not going to loot if I don't have a card that I want to discard in my hand. Because at this point, I just want to like make sure I don't run out of cards in my deck, and I just want to keep casting spells to make my bird larger. Lawferv with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. And there's a lot of excellent people streaming on Twitch right now, so I appreciate you choosing to put your Amazon fund money towards my channel this month. Bird is working its way up. So our opponent is dead at this point, but they don't know they're dead, unfortunately, so we're going to click through it. Slaughter Pact on the birds. I'd slide out of my chair. God, that would be... And we actually haven't drawn a... Yeah, opponent sees that we're getting close enough at this point and packs it in. Alright, so... They just have discard spells post-board, right? And they don't have that many of them? Is this just another matchup where we're just, like, clicking submit because we want to race? Like, the Elves deck that top-8'd the Grand Prix didn't have that many discard spells on the board. It only had, like, 3 discard spells, right? So, the Elves deck from the Grand Prix had 1 Duress, 2 Thoughtseize in the board. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to click submit here. The Jeskai Ascendancy deck's not that expensive if you cut the Leyline of Sanctities from the board. So, Leyline is a card you can cut from the board. With the mana base I currently have, you could also play more Flooded Strands and less Misty Rainforest. I'm going to play it card for card like in 5-0, Orb. The person that sent us money for it wanted to see a card for card. And remember, chat, we're a Burning Wish, we're a Glittering Wish deck, which means we can just go get cards like Fiery Justice and stuff like that. So looking for mana creature. Remember, Glittering Wish finds us Jeskai Ascendancy. I think I'm pretty happy just taking another land here as opposed to Cerulean Wisps at this point. Thanks, Love. I appreciate that. Thanks for turning. That's a good reminder for everyone. If you're one of the people out there that has Twitch Prime, Twitch is running a sale right now, or Amazon, whoever you want to call it. If you have Twitch Prime, you can buy $5 worth of bits for 99 cents. So if you have Twitch Prime and you were thinking about supporting my content anyways, you can support my content. You know, $5 is a decent amount for only $1 cost to yourself. It's a one-time sale on bits for people that have Twitch Prime. That's awkward. I really don't need a 5th land, so I'm gonna take the Glittering Wish, I guess. We really want a mana creature. Ugh. Clunking up a little bit here. Opponent starts pretty slow too, though, so we've got that going for us. They didn't have a 2nd land and they didn't have a 2nd mana creature. I guess, oh, you know what? I messed up. I should have just gone and gotten Fiery Justice, right? That's definitely what I'm doing here. They're probably gonna have a Heritage Druid and run us over. Yeah, it's probably too late at this point, but I should have gotten Fiery Justice last turn, so that way I could Fiery Justice this turn and, like, put them really far behind. Jackson, I really don't have any really concrete thoughts or opinions on what's it called? Reserve list stuff. I don't really play MTG Finance. Thank you for the bits. I appreciate it. I think it looks like I got your message. I've got a bunch of messages here. At any rate, my ritual after I finish streaming is to check all of my Twitch messages. So I'll be sure to get to your message as soon as the stream is done today. Yeah, like, could you imagine if I would have gotten Fiery Justice last turn? I would have Justiced and done 2-1-1, and they'd have, like, Nettle Sentinel and a land tier. So my sequencing here was really suboptimal. Little cheer with some Amazon money. Loved your content for a long time since the old Kiki Court days. Thank you, Drew. I appreciate that. My sale bits. Cheers. Thank you, Jay Shepard. Welcome. Down to 12 here. The mono red list was decent, Gator. Huh, that's interesting. I missed a point of damage there. All right, so we need to hit the looting. We need to hit the unearth guy this turn or we're dead. We need to hit it on, like, our first loot too. Sylvan Caryatid won't have haste, so I've got, like, 2 possible loots in order to hit Fatestitcher. That's not gonna do it. I guess I could still play a land this turn. Yeah, and again, I definitely messed up here. I definitely should have. I'm gonna fetch Shock here. No, I'm just gonna fetch Basic Island, actually, right? No, I haven't bottomed. Did I bottom a Fatestitcher this game? I think I might have. I played KCI, my LGS, another fan of your streams, and I was goldfishing the combo, and they kept said we're doing it. You know, it's funny. We were hanging out with friends the other night, and I referred to the group at the table as chat, and everyone just looked at me, and I was like, look, I can't help it. When I'm with groups of people, I just refer to people as chat, okay? It's just who I am now. That is actually insanely good. All right, so I'm gonna put Manamorphose on top of my deck here, and this is why I fetched the Basic Island, so that way I could pay health with this looting. God, it would be insane if we win this game. Thank you very much for the 500 bits, Law. I appreciate that. So let's flip Fatestitcher into play here. Let's make green. Let's untap this. Yes, and then let's go ahead and put this Abundant Growth on. It doesn't really matter. Put it on here. Go ahead and loot. I would like to loot. Yep. And this Manamorphose, like one of my bottlenecks is mana here, and this Manamorphose is hopefully going to let me overcome that. I did not think we were going to win this game. I definitely should have set myself up a little bit better to win this game, but we might sneak away with it anyways. Thank you very much for the bits. Moro Sith with the $15 donation as well. Trying to keep bumping up the Mono Black Devotion. Will do. Thank you for that. I would like to... I think I want to loot here. Do I want to loot, or do I want to just get Jeskai Ascendancy into play? I actually want all of these cards in my hand, right? Yeah, so I'm not going to loot. I'm going to go ahead and make white, make red, draw a card, another Jeskai Ascendancy. All right, so I'm going to untap this. Yes. Then I'm going to go ahead and make blue here and cast this Ascendancy. So now I'm not bottleneck on mana at all, right? I'm going to get to keep untapping all this stuff. So I'm pretty sure we're home free at this point. And I'm going to decline to loot again. Yeah, I'm going to decline to loot. And now I cast this, and this costs me 2 mana, but it also makes 2 mana now because it untaps this guy twice, which is great. And again, I'm going to go ahead and decline these loots because I'm pretty happy with all the cards. We do have to tap down their board before swinging. That is correct. I do have to tap down their board before swinging. Or I need to just use my, what's it called? Opponent commenting that they're feeling pretty dead and they're going to concede. And I agree, opponent, when you watch this. I think from this, if you could see my hand, the Scarscale Ritual likely means you're dead. Sweet. Thank you for conceding and not making me click through the end of that. I appreciate it. But remember, if people make you click through it, no one is ever obligated to concede. Anywho, so that wraps up a 4-1 league with Jeskai Ascendancy. So comments on Jeskai Ascendancy. This was actually my deck list. Someone sent in a donation and said, hey, play the deck list you've been playing. I haven't updated this list in a little bit, and I think there's a couple of small things I would do different in this deck list. Someone commented on the Guttural Response feeling kind of medium, and honestly, I think the Guttural Response is fine. I just might include some number of silences in the deck. Like, I think this Mystic Enforcer is kind of silly. And this could be a silence that you board in. You can even play a couple silences main deck, like maybe over a Revival or like the 12th 1 mana blue cantrip. You could also, depending on like what decks you want this against, this was a threat, protection from black, to bring it against Grixis Death Shadow that you Glittering Wish for. This could be a different threat against some other things, but overall, I really like this mana base. I'm pretty happy with the spell base. So the only changes I would consider making in this deck, I feel like these are cards that I'm not convinced are needed to be in the sideboard, and I wouldn't mind fitting in some number of silence if you're worried about counterspell decks. If you wanted to play this deck on a budget, you could definitely trim these ley lines. This is like $200 worth of ley lines now, apparently. You can also, Misty Rainforest and Flooded Strand are the exact same fetch in this deck. They both get all of our shocks and duels, so you can definitely play 4 Misties. And if you wanted to budget the other 2 Misties further, you could play City of Brass. I do think it's worse, but it does allow you to budget it. Fire Spout is okay, but honestly, I think a lot of the decks that Fire Spout is good against, you just have a good matchup against. And Fiery Justice does a Pseudo Sweeper impersonation good enough that you don't need a second one. And I like Fiery Justice because it kills Death Shadows and it kills some larger creatures that you wouldn't otherwise be able to kill. All right, let's close the night out with some Fair Magic, shall we?